So here we are with Tony Andric, and we're talking about the Everything Bee Vac. No secret, I use it a lot, have promoted it a lot, and you've made some changes as far as some additions for options for the bucket. But before we do that, what else has changed since you originally launched it? Is the battery the same? Is anything else?
So I've kept the same battery since day one. There was a Gen 1 that was sideways and different. It worked. It didn't look good, and it was a little more kludgy. But like everything, you design, you improve, you enhance, you make it more professional. We keep making the backpack straps better and better. This is actually the previous generation, but they used to be really uncomfortable, but they've gotten more padding in them, and you know, the little things. When people tell me there are issues, I try and find a way. Another example is this handle. It used to be a smaller, shorter handle, and when you got
mine is like square stock.
Yes, and that's a little bit of weaker aluminum. It's taller, and it's stronger aluminum. Now, I had one guy drop it from 40 feet, and that handle breaks. Nothing is bulletproof against beekeepers. I joke that there's only one career harder on your equipment than beekeepers doing removals, and that's suicide bombers. Okay. We are tough on our equipment. So a lot of little things, and we have the same better handle on top, and the side handle is that same bigger, stronger handle.
Okay.
So you get better, grip on that.
I like it. Okay.
From the beginning, we've added the clear nozzle.
Thank you for that.
That is a very popular. When you're doing swarms, you see the girls going down. It's satisfying, and I can do 5,000 bees in 30 seconds. It's just a great way of getting swarms.
Yep. And you came around and handed those to us last year.
Yes,
yeah.
yes. Yep,
Great.
that was the first time we'd gotten them.
Okay.
And there's some weird things, like the original nozzle I had like this, it was a different plastic that wanted to naturally tighten up. It was kind of weird. And so I went to a different brand, found one that holds its shape better.
Okay.
And this is great for when you've got hanging comb. The bees never even see me. They go straight into the vacuum. I just go straight between the comb, get the bees. And this is nice and long.
So when we're talking about between the comb, this is for the people doing cutouts and stuff, not just swarm collection.
Right, that's some cutouts. If you're in Texas, bees love water meters in Texas.
Okay.
So when you're getting down there, you want a smaller, more agile handle. We've got this nozzle on here. So that's some of the bigger. Another thing, we used to have what looked like your PC adapter for the charger.
Yeah, that's what I have.
Okay, well, I'm going to get you set up with this. This has got a fan. It's bigger, better. It's like the $6 million fan.
Does it charge faster?
It will charge a little bit faster, but it's going to stay cool. Where the other one tends to get hot,
right.
This one solved that problem. It's aluminum, so a little more rugged. I really need to get a big sticker that says Bee Vacuum, because I still get phone calls.
So people don't forget what connects to, yeah.
But it looks different, so it's a little bit easier to find.
Okay.
So we've done that as well.
And that connects right up here in the top.
Right. And that plugs in. It's got a 90-degree connector, so that'll plug right here, just like that.
And right next to that, you've got your remote controller.
Yep. So when you're carrying this in the backpack, you can't reach this controller. So we have this.
Yep.
And
that's not changed. That's the same one.
This is not changed?
Okay.
Well, actually, this used to be just a little bit of circuit board, and that was a little kludgy, so we put it into a case. And yeah, that just clips on, and then you have your speed control.
On my shoulder strap.
Yep.
Okay.
And I made this retractable because everything we own gets covered in honey.
Sure.
That's one way to protect it.
Yep.
So we've gotten all these things. And then let's talk about what's changed this past year.
Okay.
So I used to show this I made a plywood one, and I would tell people, make your own.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, well, no one wants to be a woodworker. I get it. So we made it out of aluminum. On top, it's got a little vent.
Okay.
On the bottom, it fits the bucket. And if you have your frames, you can give them their own brood, maybe one brood frame, some drawn comb, whatever.
Okay.
I'll put a feeder in there. The important thing is, don't do what I do. I'm too nice. I fill up the feeder. So you got it sitting here. I fill up the feeder. I pick it up like this. Splash, splash. I'm soaked.
Sure.
I remind myself, don't do that next time.
Okay.
And then I put that on top of the bucket.
So this adapter what you're selling is the aluminum components.
Yes.
They're providing the wooden, because that could be a medium or a deep or anything.
Medium, deep. You can put 2
Okay.
boxes, whatever you
Okay.
like. And the idea is the bees are going to climb up into this, and
Yep.
usually within about 10 minutes, 95% of your bees are here.
You see a huge difference in doing that from the bottom rather than the top inverted?
The difference is all the junk. I'm amazed at how much junk I
Falls down.
suck into my vacuum.
And the dead bees that might be in there. And I don't want to suggest that bees could die in your vacuum, but
I
if
kill
we're doing
them
it
with-
from the top, the dead bees are also going in. They have to clean them out.
Exactly. So all that debris is out of them. It's it's elevated, and I will keep in mind I'm in Texas, so I deal with a lot of mean bees,
Okay.
and I will leave them like this for 2 days, shady spot. But it takes them 2 days to say, "Fine, we'll stay here."
And that commits them. That's Stockholm syndrome for beekeeping.
That's exactly it. That's exactly it.
Okay. I see what you're doing.
And then at that point, now I'll give them a proper top and bottom,
Okay.
and then all my debris I can dump out of my buckets.
Okay.
And now
Well,
normally
that's
it's got
different.
this.
Now that's plastic.
We made this up, yeah. It's a little bit easier to
Okay.
clean than the metal. A little bit lighter weight. And it's not, you're not gonna worry about it rusting and other issues.
Okay,
So
that's
yeah, we changed
interesting.
that. And this is, obviously you wouldn't have this because the bees are gonna be down in the bucket.
Yep.
Now another
And I'm
change,
looking at the bottom of the bucket, which I think is where you're headed.
that's where I'm going next. So when you're finished vacuuming up the bees, you've got ventilation normally from one side. In hotter climates, we now make
Yes.
I came up with,
That's what I wanted to see.
I have a very high-tech name for this. I call it the two-ended buckets.
Okay. Two-ended
If I could
bucket.
get a better name, please let me know.
All right.
And this is just a cap.
Yep.
And I'll tell you that when these two are stuck together, of course we always add a little bit of honey. I had to add this handle because the first time I did this,
They get
I had to
too-
use a hammer and chisel to
Yeah.
separate them. So they
Okay.
stick together great.
And it needs to maintain the vacuum, so when it's operating.
Yeah, when
so
it's,
you
the
don't
vacuum
want
holds
to be
it
a
there,
loose fit.
I've never had one come off.
That is, I really like that
Thank you.
modification.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we've done that. We've got the Hive adapters. We actually had to make a change first. I'm getting a lot of international interest, and our wonderful U.S. Post Service, I appreciate what they do, but they won't ship lithium batteries. So I've come
Right.
up with a new way of getting batteries to overseas customers. So we've done some things along those lines. That's probably the big changes for the year. The Bee Expo's been great this year. It has been.
You sell your inventory? Did you,
I
you
still
sold
have
almost
some
everything?
inventory that will be gone before the end of the day.
Okay. And this is too late, of course, to tell people about knobby discounts. So what will the units be selling for if they come online, and
Right.
where
The normal-
should they be going to buy them?
Right. Allmybees.com, and we have a number of distributors. I love working with small businesses. When you walk into Larry's Beekeeping Supply, you can put your hands on it.
Yep.
I've got a great relationship with a number of companies. If you come to our website, allmybees.com, this is our most popular unit. It's got pretty much everything you see over here.
Yeah.
All the long nozzle, there's a short nozzle, the hose, the backpack, the adapter. All that together is $460. Shipping is $34.
Yeah.
And I tell people, you use it 2 times, it's paid for itself.
Sure.
And then I have fun with, you can judge how good of a friend they are. A really good friend, you just let them borrow it for free. Not as good of a friend, you charge them a little bit to borrow your vacuum. So I have a
Let's-
lot of fun with that.
Let's talk quickly about it because there's a lot of do-it-yourselfers that will probably watch this.
Uh-huh.
These hoses are not just like your standard
No,
hose.
no.
So I'd like to talk about what the interior surface is like.
I forgot to bring my sample. The outside is rigid, but we allow the ridging because on the inside, and I'm not sure if you can zoom in there.
Let's see what
It is a
happens.
very, very smooth surface inside.
Oh, I did get it. Okay.
You got it?
Yeah, and I want people to really be aware of that because
Yeah.
it's hard
Yeah.
on the bees. If you're
It
just
is
gonna
very
pull a
hard.
regular hose.
And there's 2 parts to that. One, my whole vacuum weighs 10 pounds. So if you're going in attics or up and down stairs, you don't need a 25 or 40-foot hose. The whole unit goes with you.
Right.
And there's a lot of little things like the ends of the hose both swivel. It's
Yeah,
easier
absolutely.
convenience.
Yep.
Yep.
I like it.
So
Thank you,
I
Tony.
think that's everything.
Did a great job. It's great
God
to
bless
talk
you.
to you here.
All right.
All right.